You know when you really understand things at the triple whistle of games. Did you see what happened in Bologna, Inter, Milan, Atalanta? Not on the pitch, not on the sideline, but at the triple whistle. Watch the stands, watch the supporters of Bologna, watch the supporters of Atalanta celebrating, chanting, jumping, hugging each other. They believe in it. They really believe that this one was a crucial, important game. A really important match day for the ticket in Champions League. They will push. They will be the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15 men pushing their team, home or away, to push them to continue to dream to qualify to the next Champions League. That is always when we are speaking with Atalanta, when we are speaking about Bologna, about miracles. But that's what they believe in it. So it will all depend on Juve, but seriously depend on us. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. It's the first video of the day, and actually it's a really late one. Why? Today it's an important day, because today is Pasqua, it's Easter, so buona Pasqua to all the Juventini that are celebrating today. Super important. This morning I spent time with the family, we went to the church, then we stay at home, celebrating, staying together, which is super important. So again, best wishes, buona Pasqua to everyone. Let's speak about the games. Bologna-Inter first, then Milan-Atalanta, and then we speak about ourselves, predicted lineups, squad list that has been announced. Ragazzi, the worst result for Juve. If yesterday it was a match day that nobody cared about, honestly, because it was not really affecting Juve, today, yes. So today it was really important to follow the two games that were directly involving Juve, waiting for tomorrow, because Fiorentina needs to play, Lazio needs to play. But honestly, if you're looking at the games of today, the worst possible result, because Bologna is winning 1-0 at the 94th minute with a fantastic goal of Orsolini, and they have the 3 points, which means that they are going at the moment over Juve again. They are fourth with 60 points, and then the goal of Ederson that is giving the 3 points to Atalanta over Milan, which means that they continue to be solid there at the third spot with 64 points. 1-0 there, 0-1 in the other game. The worst result for Juve, because if Atalanta would have lost, if Bologna would have lost, today we would have spoken about the possibility of Juve going third in the ranking tomorrow, which is much better. A 0-0 between Inter and Bologna, a 0-0 between Atalanta and Milan would have been fantastic, really been fantastic, because, let's not exaggerating. Wishing the win of Inter is maybe a bit pushing too much, no? Anyway, the worst result for Juve, that's what happened today. Tomorrow it's a must win, not to become third, because that's not possible at the moment after match day 33, but actually to go back at the fourth spot. 62 points, a -2 from Atalanta, a +2 over Bologna. Today we are obliged to win against a really difficult Parma. What about the games? Well, Inter, they will probably regret this. Do you remember that I was telling you, pay attention to Napoli? I believe still that Napoli have all the chances in the world to win Serie A. You remember I told you calendar of Inter is a bit more difficult. They have much more games to play, with the semi-final of Champions League, with the semi-final of Coppa Italia. So it's much more difficult. And today, not drawing against Bologna, they will probably regret it. Guys, between Inter and Napoli, I hate both teams. More Inter than Napoli. Anyway, whoever wins. The most important is that Inter is not winning the Champions League, which I really believe that they can do. But would be beautiful if in 1 week they are able to lose and Serie A and Champions League and Coppa Italia. Fantastic. Anyway, let's speak again about our Juventus, about what happened in the game. Well, Inter, I told you, not the perfect Inter today. Bologna, they were pushing. They were really pushing extremely hard. They believed in it, which is the characteristic of the team of Italiano. That's what I'm telling you, that even if we are doing our mission, winning against Parma, winning against Monza, we play against Bologna then in their home, and they will have exactly the same behavior. It's a team that is always believing in it, and the win of today, well, it gives them a confident boost that is totally crazy. They really have that awareness that it's possible, because they already did it last year, going against all odds in the Champions League. This year, selling Zirkzee, selling Calafiori, changing the coach. Well, not a lot of people would have thought that they could reconfirm. And within these kind of moments, going compact, a win against Inter could be the game where they go with a run. Look, next week they have Udinese to play away from home, and then it's Bologna-Juve. So if they are there, really close. Look, today is a disaster. It was better than Inter would have won. They didn't. It is what it is. And then I watched Milan against Atalanta, boring first half. And then you see the second half where Milan is pushing. They were a bit doing the Atalanta at a certain moment. And that's the moment where I go on Twitter and I write, look, Milan started that second half really well, which means they will concede in the next 5 minutes. How long? Before they conceded the goal, 6 minutes. I had 1 minute mistaken. Hey, it is what it is, ragazzi. But it was so predictable that they would concede. Milan is bad. Huh? Milan is really bad. It's really a bad team. Hey, sometimes I don't know if it's painful for a Juventino or not to say that Milan is bad, but I think it's a bit painful. Huh? The ex-Milan that I knew, we are really far from there. They are 9th. They cannot become 10th anymore because Torino is really far away from them with 11 points different. But they are really 9th. If Fiorentina wins tomorrow, they will have plus 5 points over them being 8th. It's a total disaster. Out of all competitions with the winter mercato, that was crazy. And a lot of these players were not even playing today. Eh? Joao Felix on the bench. Gimenez was not playing today. So it's really, really tough to see a Milan like that. And then I don't understand. Leao is also really a bad player. Look, according to me, overrated. Not about the skills, because he's really a skillful player that can find that magia at any moment of the day. He has a beautiful thing. I think that Premier League would be perfect for him. But it's a player that is absolutely not consistent. It's a player that I qualify like a lot of smoke without fire. A lot of time doing the thing like, okay, it can possibly happen, but you are sure at a certain moment that he will miss something. The last pass, the decision making. No, Leao, not good. If you tell me, Beppe, you have the opportunity to take Leao next year in your team, I say no. Overrated player, according to me. Beautiful to see in some moments, but mamma mia. Like, it's a player already, when the ball is going there, you know it will not happen. Disaster. Smoke without fire. Milan bad. The stadium was not even full today. Is it because it was Pasqua and usually don't play at Pasqua? I don't know. I saw an Atalanta that was really mature, that understood perfectly how to beat the team of Conceição. And that brings me to the conclusion that Bologna, they will believe in it. They are pushed by that enthusiasm. They have an Orsolini that entered on fire. Also a beautiful team with Ndoye, really well managed by Italiano. And that enthusiasm is really, really, really the worst news that could happen for competing with Bologna. They have nothing to lose, guys. Huh? They really have nothing to lose. If they go in Champions League, it's the cherry, it's the icing, it's the beautiful news, something against all odds. If they don't, well, it's okay. So they don't have the pressure to do it, but they have the belief to do it. Atalanta is really mature. And the worst thing with Atalanta is that they already played their difficult games. All that series of really difficult games are already gone. Now they play Lecce, Monza, Roma, that didn't lose since 17 games, I believe. That's the only difficult game on paper. And they finish with Genoa and Parma. So 5 games that Atalanta, they can go with 4 wins and 1 draw. Looks like the third or fourth position is for the Nerazzurri, while Bologna, well, after Udinese, they play against Juve, and then they have Milan, Fiorentina, and finish the last game against Genoa. So a bit more difficult calendar for Bologna. Pay attention. What about us? What about Juve? Well, Juve tomorrow, good news, Kenan Yildiz has been called up, and that's a fantastic news because we had some doubts. We were not sure, especially if we are referring to the beginning of the week. On the other side, Koopmeiners is not doing it. It was already anticipated by Tudor yesterday in press conference. If you watch the video, it was a good one. It was a really good one. The press conference, go back and watch it. Otherwise, you will know already about it that Kenan Yildiz could have made it, and he did. Koopmeiners not, but he will not start Yildiz. So we see that Giovanni Albanese already predicted the lineup of tomorrow with Di Gregori into the goal. We don't change the defense that worked until now, and also because we don't have a lot of choices. Kalulu, Veiga, and Kelly. 4 men in the midfield with McKennie that goes on the right side, Cambiaso that starts on the left, Locatelli, Thuram in the middle. Obliged choices? In a way, yes. Because I can guarantee you that if Yildiz and Koopmeiners would have been in top form, probably they would have a starting spot. So they are obliged a bit to change with Cambiaso starting on the left, McKennie on the right. And then you see Nico Gonzalez and Kolo Muani behind Dusan Vlahovic. So another bench according to the predicted lineups for Conceição. Kolo Muani, the first start in the Tudor era. Will that be enough to beat Parma? I hope yes. They had 9 days. They really had 9 days to work. You know it, Tudor is always repeating one thing. I want to see what we worked on during the week. So they had 9 days to work on something to beat Parma. I always said it, well, I said it after the Juve game. We are now mathematically fourth, which means that we have 7 games to go, or 6, 7, I don't know. Anyway, the remaining games, if we win all of them, we qualify. So it's in our hands. If tomorrow we win, we go again at +2 over Bologna, and then we play il scontro diretto. Guys, at the moment, that's the lineup. Am I curious to see the game of tomorrow? Yes. Am I excited to see the game of tomorrow? Yes. Am I a bit scared? Yes, because we only saw 3 games of Tudor, because this time we will play with pressure, which was a bit less in the other games where we played before knowing all the results. Now, yes, we know the results, so that means that we have the pressure, and playing with pressure in a team that yesterday also Tudor confirmed we are not experienced enough could be a factor. So tomorrow, forget about all the other results that were a disaster today. If we are looking at the top 4 run, think about yourself, think about the game. Don't make calculations, don't make future plans, because you are building your future on the field. 90 minutes. That's what you have to do. Ragazzi, we see each other tomorrow for the post-Pasqua, for il lunedì di Pasqua, but also for Parma Juve. Ciao, grazie, forza, Juve. Ciao.